All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The fight before Christmas continues. We have once again remembered Christmas colors, so we're getting the hang of it. It's a shame it only came halfway through the tournament. But a little bit surprisingly, I think, for most, spawning here in the bottom left corner of the map, leading the series 1-0. It's going to be the green Zerg player, Liquid's TLO.
You never right, as the red Terran. It's YoDa Prime.
It's weird. Are there any other teams that have the name come after?
Not anymore. There might have been earlier on.
I mean, I know there's like the raid call tags and stuff for like EG, but
that doesn't count. There aren't even raid call anymore.
Know,
What year are you in?
I'm just saying, like, I actually can't think of any other instance where something came after.
Whenever I think about raid call, I just think about the GSL announcer.
Team
Lady
property.
call.
No, yeah, lady call. I was trying to think. It was like on the tip of my tongue. Team property is BB2. They're sponsored on the end of theirs. Broadband 2 because they're sponsored by the internet over there. Well, I was gonna say before we talk about too much else, I was really, really impressed by just how much damage got done in the first game from TLO. I'm not shocked he doesn't try to repeat it though. I think he also acknowledges that was a situation where YoDa was not prepared, and that's the only reason that went so incredibly well.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure YoDa, he's been playing a lot of games today, which you might think means that he's really warmed up and he's totally ready to go. But if you're playing against a certain type of style, or if you just did not play in TVZs, I don't know, was run at the bracket of GSL, then, coming into someone who's that aggressive so fast is still going to catch you off guard. Especially, I don't know what YoDa's thinking about playing TLO right now, but he's probably have to reevaluate what he was thinking.
I mean, there's no way in hell as well that YoDa underestimates this guy, because TLO is one of these guys who does get invited everywhere. You see him in a lot of these brackets, and while he might not be the WCS European champion, it's a name worth knowing, even if it's not part of your own scene. It's the same way people know about, like, Marine King or MMA or like the big standout players from the Korean region. No, they might not be your North American heroes, but everybody knows them. For YoDa's sake, though, again, so much of that first game, that was like several different flavors of awkward. That's a situation that it does happen once in a blue moon. You're losing both the Reaper and canceling the Command Center and losing SUVs. I mean, you will rarely find that combination happening anywhere else.
Yeah. There's like 3 things that happen there, and usually only one of them does. Anyways.
If that.
Yeah, if that. True. TLO went for a hatch first this game, mixing it up a little bit to see how else he mixes it up, whether it's in composition, build. I mean, last game he'd go for a 2-base muta, which is becoming so standard. It's like, it's almost the standard. Like, seriously, maybe just cause too much impact, and, it's Impact's favorite build, but, when Solar went for, like, a regular 3-base build, I was like, oh, this is interesting. Wait, no, it's not. It's completely normal.
Well, I did like the earlier queens out of TLO last time. I mean, you're pretty much going to have, like, that extra creep spread queen anyways, but I like that he's going for 4. We've talked about this before as well, where there's those pushes that come, be it with the medevac and Marines, whether it's the Hellbats or not. Having extra queens is always beneficial in those scenarios.
Yeah, he went for a gasless expand here. I mean, he just threw down the gases right now. TLO, that is. So he will have those extra queens. In fact, he's going to go up to 6. And yeah, that's nice. He did give up Bane or Ling speed, but there wasn't any Reaper because it was a 14cc, so that kind of paired up nicely for him.
Yeah, this is kind of the cost of a faster third, though, for TLO is like the one detriment to it, but at the same time, if you've got more queens, you're more equipped to defend the third that comes down later, so you don't feel that pressure.
I also really like it because of the, how popular Banshees are on this map. We always talk about it, and we always say that, like, so people just, like, they should know it, but they still don't, like, bother, like, really trying to scout it, or they just don't get, like, a 1 blind spore crawler, or, something like that, and they end up losing a lot to it. Yeah. I mean, queens aren't the end-all be-all, but he's also getting a faster lair, so as long as he can get Overseer in time, like, they will be. Like, queens are actually pretty good as long as they got the detection.
Oh, this could be a nice scout at TLO, confirm it is, in fact, going to be Hellion Banshee. I mean, this is a standard build that it's not like it gets shut down by scouting, but knowing exactly what you're coming up against, knowing that you're going to need that Overseer ahead of time.
Yeah. I was hoping that TLO was going to go for, like, a Roach build on this map. I, like, changing it up completely from what he was doing last game. And that, like, I kind of like Roach Hydra on this map as well. I don't know if he's going to go Hydra. It might just be Roach into Muta. That was a transition we were seeing a lot, like, a couple of months ago. Yeah. Really died down, though. Like, now it is pretty much back to, like, if you're going to get Roaches, you're usually going to go to Hydras.
Well, I think Roaches, I'm so excited again with the prospects of Legacy of the Void. Even if they nerf things to the point where you don't use Ravagers as like a main part of your army, the idea of having Roaches transition to something to the late game is quite cool. Because Roach Hydra is a layer tech build. It's something that doesn't really transition out.
ZVZ was like looking really boring to me on my macro front, right, in Legacy of the Void, but oh, please tell me that's for serious. Shops? Roach shops?
Which? What?
Roach shops.
Oh, sorry, TLO. I thought you were saying tanks for some reason. I'm like, yeah, I guess we got mech coming out again. I don't know why that's so. Are you for serious? But yeah, okay. So if it's road shops, that's really cool. This was an older school way to deal with mech builds. Once upon a time, this was something that we've seen players even such as Hendrilisk beat players like Joxy with. So make no mistake, ventral sacks can certainly be effective, and we'll see if TLO gets good use of them or not. This is kind of the alternative going for like a Nidus Worm or something.
TLO getting a pretty late third off of the back of this. I'm kind of surprised. I feel like that's a fake too, because he's not getting anywhere near 300 minerals.
In fact, yeah, he pulls back entirely.
Yeah, so a 2-base drop. I mean, obviously it's very, very fast, but
TLO's going like every bit of cool right now. Like, what if this?
I don't know.
What if this is the exit strategy? Like the roaches are getting dropped in, but he knows the overlords will die, so this is the exit strategy.
I
This
don't
is
know.
the getaway car. Here's the thing, though, right? Queens are coming out, roaches are coming out. YoDa actually has adequate defense if there was no means of getting past this. If there's no way to bring the roaches directly on top of the tanks. For those who don't know, like the biggest benefit of this is these overlords are gonna have, first off, there's usually no anti-air in a mech build early on, so there's nothing to really snipe them down. There's nothing to shoot them down. The other thing is it's going to close the distance. So while the roaches would namely they take like 2 or 3 shots getting to these tanks, especially from the banshees, they're going to be safe and sound.
Oh my god. So YoDa doesn't scout a third, and he's like, what the hell's going on? And he kind of figures out the Nidus, and he also scans and sees the Nidus. So
I
he's
feel
all
like that's the
prepared
sickest fake.
to get the Nidus in the main. Yeah, and then TLO's just like, nah, I'm going to do overload drops.
But here's the problem, right? Like, you can't overload drop as easily anymore because of Hellbat. So directly on top of the tanks might not work in this scenario. He does speed ahead with an overseer to check exactly what's going on. He has done a great job of kind of faking that Nidus Worm, but it's going to come down anyway, so not a fake at all. This is the exit strategy and the reinforcement point. As he secures the top of the hill, there's Hellbats running up here. These tanks, well, they're not in position of really anything. The only thing he has to worry about are these Banshees. Transfuse is going down. He's got to focus these Banshees down. This Overseer is not positioned for this. The Nidus Worm pops out. A couple more Roaches are going to spew forward, but he's got to kill those Banshees. Those are the clock on this attack.
Micro the Queens, yes! Like that! Yeah!
Picks up in the Overlord, yeah. It's like a medevac control. Sadly, he doesn't quite pick off those Banshees, and looks like the Hellbats have done a great job of cleaning up the Roaches. A really cool attack that has not gone so hot for TLO, and this was a big investment out of him.
Yeah, I was honestly surprised. The Hellbats I thought were going to die a lot quicker, and they ended up not dying much at all.
Oh, psych!
I don't know, TLO. I think this is...
I feel like that's the bait. He's going to drop on top of the tanks this time, because he knows the army's going to be driven away to the Nidus Worm.
He just doesn't have, like, there's no Banelings in here, so it's not like he gets, like, this massive amount of damage done with only 5 seconds.
He can't even kill the tank. The repair for the SCVs is too damn good. YoDa's going to hold.
Yeah, I don't even know, like, TLO...
I mean,
can you macro out of this? Your opponent's on 3 bases.
Well, he's not technically on 3, but neither's TLO, and I think that's where the problem comes in. Because while the Queens are taken away, there's no injects that were really going off for a small time. A new Nidus Worm comes down. I mean, I guess... You know, as funny as it is, I kind of wish there had been a Mutilus transition behind this. There's no anti-air. Like, these 2 Marines in the bunker are the only things that can shoot up.
I think that would have been a good idea.
Too expensive, though, I think, with the Nidus Worm paired up. I mean, every Nidus Worm is, for those who don't know, 100 minerals, 100 gas. You cannot get back.
Yeah, it would be at the expense of, like, further pressure, but I think it would have been worth the expense. Like, YoDa's not pushing out anytime soon.
I love these baits out of TLO. Like, I've never seen a Nidus Worm use this bait before, but, you know, the SUVs are pulled, and this is why they're changing it in Legacy of the Void, guys. Moments like that.
Well... I don't know if I necessarily agree with that change, but, you know, TLO's not... I really thought he might macro out of this. Like, you know, try to, rather.
If you guys remember, TLO said every time he does something cool today, he's looking for a vote on that Team Razor site for Team Liquid, so... win or lose, this is definitely something cool. Splits the drops this time.
Yeah, there's a big army, though. I mean, it's all coming up a ramp. Tanks are going to siege, however, and the Hellbat's just so good.
I just feel like no matter what damage he does to the ground, he's not killing the Banshees. And the Banshees will always clean up whatever he brings.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed.
He's finally got Vikings too, by the way. I love that YoDa did this. He's like, enough of your shenanigans. I'm done with you.
Yeah, this is probably gonna be the last. So the nice section just doesn't die. I thought the SCs are gonna be pulled in the mat. Oh well.
Yeah, GG's gonna be called. YoDa will take game number 2. Silly, awesome game. We'll see you guys. I can't.